Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. First of all, it gives me great joy to see you all in person. After almost 2 years, I'm having this kind of yajna with live people, breathing. Until now, we have been doing yajnas various places, only looking at a screen. So this is the first time seeing people without wearing masks, smiling. Now, what I mean by that, you all understood. Where, no problem. Now, and the two abode of Bhagavan Shiva. The very name itself is auspiciousness, one who is destroyer of anything impure. So the topic is also Shiva Ananda Lahari. This is the first time I'm doing this text. So you are all the scapegoats for me. Though I have read this commentary for different occasions to quote, but as a text, this is the first time. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is known for his spontaneous expression of love for the Lord. Greatness of Shankaracharya, I don't need to tell you about, is the very nature of or embodiment of knowledge. But at the same time, he had so much of love for the Lord. Shivananda Lahari, Saundarya Lahari, so many stotrams and stutis. I was only wondering, when did he have time? Mahatmas, you know, when they speak, they only, it comes out as poetry or great philosophical truths. But one thing about Bhagavan, Shankaracharya is the precision with which he will express things. And that too, the language of precision, that is Sanskritam. And the compositions are so exquisite, especially in this Shivananda Lahari also, you'll find 100 verses, and I'm not going to cover all the 100 anyways. And we have selected some 25, 26 of them. Those who have the book, they will be able to look into that. And this composition is an expression of Ananda. Lahari means the wave of bliss. Now, you know the word joy, happiness, pleasure. We must first of all understand what is Ananda. Now, all the Swamis are given that name, right? Tejomaya Ananda. Why it is so? Shivananda or Chinmaya Ananda. They didn't say Chinmaya Dukhi. Tejomaya Dukhi. No, it's not Dukhi. So first of all, let us understand what is Ananda. pleasure is through senses. That is also one kind of joy. But it is born out of contact. Sparshajam Sukham. A pleasure is Sparshajam Sukham. Contact born joy. And that definitely has beginning and an end. You would like to eat. Before eating, you have the joy of even thinking about the food. And then you enjoy, and that ends. How many gulab jamuns you can eat? 1, 2. Beyond that, it's a pain. For the serving people also, for those who are eating also, for the stomach also, it's a pain. No, it has beginning. Bhagavan Krishna also says, Ehi samsparshaja bhogaha dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddhaha. Buddhaha na ramate. Men of wisdom don't enjoy, relish that because it is adi antavanta. It's beginning and end, and they are born out of sense contact. Samsparshaja bhogaha dukkha yonaya. At the very womb of pain. So, indriyajam sukham adyantavantam tasmat buddhaha na ramate. Buddhaha na ramante. Plural. So, that is what we mostly engage in. If one is finished, they will go to the other one. After having gulab jamun, then we'll see a movie. How long you'll see a movie? After some time, something else. So it goes on like that. We are busy with that. Then second one is called happiness born out of achievements. So you are a student and you are wanting to grade A or want to complete a project. And there is a satisfaction in that of completion. Right? So born out of contentment, tripti sukha. I have completed this job. I have succeeded in this. So that is born out. That is also depending upon what happens, which is not predictable. So you can only hope for it. Sometimes you hope may not be fulfilled. So then it is turning into dukkham. Or you did it, somebody did better than you. Then you are unhappy about that. So that is also limited. That is also dependent on something else. Externally dependent. So that is another kind of joy. That is happiness also. The third one is born out of knowledge. Knowledge of what? I know. I know is also a joy. In the midst of people who don't know, a person who knows has got a certain amount of pleasure about it, a joy about it. Right? So that knowledge also sukham tadati. That's why it is said, Sattvat sanjayate jnanam and sukhe sanjayati, he said. Bhagavan Krishna said, Sattva sukham, what? Sattva jnanam and jnanam sukhena batnadi. Jnana sukham also is there, but it binds. And so, people who engage in study and scholarship and all those things, it is not indriya sukham. It is not some kind of external achievement, but a feeling of, I know. I have a knowledge of it. So that is another form of a sukham. Even that, if nobody cares to know what you know, you'll be really bad. Nobody is. That's why it is said, when I was young, I had many questions, no answer. Now I have too many answers, nobody is asking questions. Nobody bothers about your knowledge also, and happy. So that is also limited. Now then comes Ananda. This Ananda is not born out of any sense contacts. It's not indriya sukham. It is not out of some kind of a contentment in this world or success in this world. Nor even it is a sense of knowing. I know. It's not that also. Then what is it? This Bhagavan Krishna very clearly said. Sukhamatyantikam yattat buddhigrahyam atindriyam veti yatra na chaivayam stitaschalati tatvatah. That adyantavanta konti. That's the beginning. That what Sukham is that. Not adyantavanta. Not beginning and end. Sukham atyantikam yattat. There's no beginning, no end. Buddhigrahyam. Buddhyagrahyam. By viveka janita buddhya. With a clear understanding of that which is already there. Which is not something which I need to get it from somewhere, or it is not something which will disappear at some point of time. And that Sukham is Ananda. That Ananda is not temporary. It's not depending upon anything else. And that Ananda is only Atmasukam, Atmananda. So here, in this set of verses, Bhagavan Shankaracharya expresses this Ananda. And he puts that in the form of a true devotion to the Lord. Here, Shiva should be understood not only as the Bhagavan Shiva whom we worship, but he should be understood, it should be understood as the very representation of this Paramatma only. Though we worship it as an external form, but he only represents our supreme reality enshrined in our own heart. And it is a Lahari. Lahari means it is a wave of bliss. Like in the ocean, there is no stoppage of waves. Continuously it is going on and on and on. Is it not? There's no time when you say there are no waves in the ocean. You may not see it, but it is there. It's picking up its momentum, and only when it comes to the shores, you really know it. Whereas it is already there in the middle of the ocean, it has picked up the momentum and it is coming. And when it comes and hits the shores, you hear it. You enjoy it. But then again, this is another set has come. So in the same way, this bliss is something which is a constant wave of it that is going on. And the problem is that we are busy with something else. So we are not able to recognize it. So the intention of this particular composition is become aware of it and consciously bring it to your attention by keeping your mind focused upon the Lord. Through that focus on the Lord, you will experience the Atmasukam continuously. So that is the reason why this Shiva Ananda Lahari. So we'll chant the first verse, that is in page number, in my book, the same book you have, page number 1 only. The same book you have. Okay. This is in a very peculiar, not very often known Chandas, Adidhriti, it's called Chandas. Those who have known Jivana Muktananda Lahari, this is the same meter. You can repeat after me. Kalabhyam chudalang krita shashi kalabhyam nijatapaha palabhyam bhakteshu prakatita palabhyam bhavatu me. Shivabhyamastoka tribhuvana shivabhyam hridi punaha. Bhavabhyam Ananda Spuradhanubhavabhyam Natiriyam. Together. Kalabhyam Chudalam Kridashashikalabhyam Nijatapah Phalabhyam Bhakteshu Prakatita Phalabhyam Bhavatu Me Shivabhyam Astoka Tribhuvana Shivabhyam Hridi Punah Bhavabhyam Ananda Spuradadan Bhavabhyam Natidiryam. Iyam Nadihi. Iyam Nadihi. This Nadihi means Namaskaraha. This salutation, Nati. Nam Nati. This salutation is for whom? To that both Shiva and Shiva. Right? In Sanskrit, Shiva means Bhagavan Shiva. Shiva, when you say it, becomes Shakti. But in South India, they all call Krishna. Krishna is who? Who is Krishna? Huh? Whose name is Krishna? Draupadi. You're calling Draupadi. Krishna. Then it is Krishna. This is Rama, not Rama. Shiva, when you say it is Shakti will come. Yes. No, I didn't call you. I called Shiva. Then you say Shiva. So together they become Shiva Bhyam to those Bhagavan Shiva and Shakti. Bhavani Shankaro Vande, right? Shraddha Vishwasa Rupino. Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddha Swantastam Ishwaram. Ishwaram Swantastam Na Pashyanti Siddhahavi. Why? If you don't have trust and faith. Right? Shraddha Vishwas. Vishwasa and Shraddha. So Vishwasaha, that is masculine, that was Shiva. Shraddha is feminine, that's what Parvati. Shraddha Vishwasa Rupino. That's Bhavani is Shraddha to her. And then Vishwasa is Shiva. So they together constitute the entire world's mother and fatherhood. They are considered as mother and father of the whole universe. So that is why it says Shiva Bhyam, to those who are both auspicious by their nature. Shiva Bhyam. Astoka Tribhuvana Shiva Bhyam. Astoka. Astoka means those which are entirely encompassing all. It encompasses entire universe. It filling the entire universe. Universe, when we say not only our earth, the entire creation, all the cosmos put together. Stoka means little. Astoka, not little, not minute, not insignificant. It is of the nature of the major, what do you call that? Compressing of the complete whole creation in its fold. That's called Astoka. Tribhuvana Shivabhyam. Those who are auspicious, encompassing all the three worlds. The three worlds can be what? Bhuhu, Bhuha, Swaha. Or three worlds may be individuals, three worlds. Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, either in whichever way you want, that all the three worlds of experiences are encompassed in his presence, their presence. And at the same time, Hridi Punabhavabhyam, Ananda Spurad Anubhavabhyam, Natihi Iyam. But where do you experience their presence? Hridi. In your own heart, Punaha Punaha Bhavabhyam. Again and again it appears as constant joy-giving presence. In other words, any joy you experience, it comes from there only. But mistakenly, we think that something else is causing us joy. And just like Gurudev used to say, that a dog which is chewing on to the dead bone, in a dead bone which has sharp edge, when it chews, it ulcerates the mouth inside and the blood comes out of that. And it thinks it's coming from that bone. So it keeps on chewing. That's the same way our teenagers chewing gum. After some time, there's nothing. They're like the what do you call that? Cows, you know. They keep on chewing. After they eat the grass, they go sit in one corner. They keep on chewing, and that's why they call each other guy. They also chew. So actually, where is the source of joy? Definitely, it is something which is one's own heart. Hridi punabhavabhyam ananda spurat anubhavabhyam natiyam. To those which are experiencing this great bliss, spurat anubhava, it welling up constantly, unsurmountable, imperishable joy. Now, you may say, Swamiji, these are too much of exaggeration. Is it not true? Every day you want to sleep. Here also. While listening to me also. Then some of them are, Swamiji, I'm enjoying your talk. Every day, why do you want to sleep? You tell me. If it is not bliss, will you go to sleep? Whether you like it or not, you will go into that state of bliss because you know giving up the world is the best bliss. There's no other comparison to that. Every one of us, every day, we become sannyasins. Correct or not? Anything that you have achieved, anything you did or you didn't do, at the end of the day, what? Sabko chhod do. Where are you going? Where do you go? Somebody says he gone to sleep. Gone to sleep, I can see him. Gone means he's not available. So what does it mean? Where do you go? To that very source of bliss only. That's why it's called Anandamaya Kosha, isn't it? But the problem is, knowingly we don't go there. That's why in Vedanta we call that state of being is called prajna. There are two ways of explaining that word. Prajna, one meaning is prayena ajna. In general, ignorant. Because we don't know what's happening there. Prayena ajna. Another meaning is, it is so close to that presence of the self, but yet there is a wall of tamas. That's why in Kaivalya Upanishad, tamo vibhuta sukarupameti sushupti kale sakale viline. Sukarupameti, but tamo vibhuta sukar. Not knowingly we are there. So when a person gains a correct knowledge and awareness and brings up the sattva predominantly in oneself, even during the waking state, such a person, when he enters into the state of sleep also, it is samadhi only. Nidra samadhi stitaha, isn't it? In that, what is that called? Manasa Shiva Puja, there. Shiva Manasa Puja, there. What does it mean? Where an individual enters the same state of mind, where the mind has gained the correct understanding, and even as he goes to that state of sleep, actually he, because of that very knowledge, tamas has been overcome. He does not become tamo vibhuta sukam, sattva bhuta sukam, jnana bhuta sukam. So where is that source? Hridi punabhavabhyam ananda spuradhanubhavabhyam natidiyam. To the one those two who are thus expressing themselves as the source of bliss, to them, iyam nati, this namaskara, this salutation. And at the same time, these Shiva and Parvati, they are the very abode of all arts. Kala-bhyam, all the various arts and art forms. The dance or the music or the singing and the architecture, all that you can think of. Bhagavan Shankara is known for his, great dance, abidance. So, abidance, abhaya dance. Without any fear, he dances there. Because that very Nataraja Swarupa. So, that very form itself is the very, it's considered as the very creation itself is his dance. All art forms are included there. So they see, when you say the Lord is pervading everything, there is this Dhyana Shloka comes in Rudram. Apatala nabastalanda bhuvana brahmandama vispurat jyotis particle ingamoli vilasat purnentu vantamrate asto kaprudamekamishamanisham rudranuvakanjapan Dhyaye deepsita siddhaye dhruvapadam viprobhishinche shivam brahmanda. Okay, continues. Astoka pludamekamiga samanisham. Rudranuvakan japan. Those who are actually chanting the Rudram. Dhyayet. When they meditate also, they can continuously understand how he is all-pervading presence. Astoka pludamekamiga samanisham. Rudranuvakan japan. Dhyaye deepsida siddhaye dhruvapadam. Vipro abhishinche. Vipraha abhishancha. While there's abhishekam karte hue, when a person is while doing the abhishekam, chanting the Rudram, and then when he does that, he recognizes the overwhelming presence of the omniscient presence of the Lord. So that is why it is said that Bhagavan, when he dances, that is the dance of creation. And he is the very source of all arts. That is Kala-bhyam. And then Chudalang Kala-bhyam. He keeps the cooling moon in his own crescent moon. Crescent moon there. What does it mean? That is also Kala. It goes through that, 15 days of waning and waxing. Right? So that's what they say, that crescent moon is a presence, but not overwhelming presence. It only to show that Bhagavan Shiva is aware of the world, but not part of the world. Like that crescent, little presence of the moon, which is a beautiful, symbolism there. Our mind is actually, it is represented by the moon. Mind also waxes and wanes. Sometimes we are bright, unusually. Otherwise, our brightness also goes back and forth. Not always we are in the same. Swami Ishwarananda, right? Bhagavan is one who has Soma. And Sa Uma, another meaning of Soma is Su Uma, along with Uma. Now the thing is that why Mondays is what called in Sanskrit called Somvar. Monday, Moon Day. Moon's day is Monday, Sun's day is Sunday. So Somvar is what? So, the day of the moon. At the same time, it is the day of Shiva. Right? And the moon also goes through that wax and wanes, as I said. And the same way our mind also, some people have problem with that. The full moon day, you can't talk to them. Because lunar makes them lunatic. Ask any psychiatrist, they will tell you. On that day only they get maximum calls. Correct or not? I have checked, not I have a problem, but I checked up with the psychiatrist and they told me that, yes, Swamiji, we get maximum. Anybody here psychiatrist? Raise your hand. I will not come to you, but people get more agitated because when the ocean rises up during the full moon day, our mind also gets disturbed more. That's the reason why in our tradition fast on that day, so that you control the mind on that day. So also happens in no moon day also. No moon means no man. No, like that. Anyway, so that is the reason why Bhagavan Shiva carrying the crescent means he's keeping his mind just necessary. If it is completely gone, in sleep. If fully available, then it is Jagrat. Is neither in the Sushupti nor in Jagrat Avastha. He is aware but not available. That is the crescent moon there. So that is the reason why I read one beautiful verse here, and I'll come to that a little later, which is such a beautiful expression of why that moon is important. Kalabhyam chudalankrita shashikalabhyam nijatapa balabhyam. Nijatapaha, swatapaha. Nijatapa here means, no doubt, the tapas, austerity performed by oneself. So, but also it means individually, Bhagavan Shiva and Parvati, individually they can give results to those who are doing tapas. Those who are worshippers of Shakti get a particular kind of results, and those who are worshippers of Shiva, they get a different kind of. Now you see what we want in our life. We want many people who are in the world, they want some kind of a Shakti, power. It can be power over people. Everything is which of value will give us a strength. Like if somebody has a political power, then that is a Shakti. Somebody has got money, that is a Shakti. Somebody got people, that is Shakti. Somebody has jnanam, that is also Shakti. Somebody can convince people by communicating, that is also Shakti. People writing and then convince people. So all that are of the worldly gain is gained by worship of Shakti. Shakyadedi Shakti, where you are capable, you become capable. But then at the same time, at the end of the day, you feel all that is said and then manas shanti milna chahiye. Uske liye shiv ko jao. You have to go to the Bhagavan and say, now I want to be quiet and peaceful. So for the mind to become quiet, peaceful, serene, still, then you have to go to Shiva. So for the worldly gains, you have to go to Shakti and do the tapas there. For making your mind available fully for you to remain quiet and peaceful in meditation, you go to Bhagavan. So they include both for the world and no world. For the extrovert or the introvert. For the external achievement and internal victory over the mind. So both. So nija tapa palabhyam. But individual penance, when you do, you get individual power or individual blessing. Bhakteshu prakatita palabhyam. And it is an explicit, prakatita. It is an explicit blessing that you receive from both of them. That is what is said in the very Mangalacharan itself. It is not hidden result, expressed result, open result that you get. Palabhyam bhavatu me. May it become an explicit result for me. So this way, the beginning of the very Shivananda Lahari, he salutes both of them, Shiva and Shiva. Kalabhyam chudalankrita shashikalabhyam nijatapaha phalabhyam bhakteshu prakatita palabhyam bhavatu me. Shivabhyam astoka tribhuvana shivabhyam kriti punaha bhavabhyam ananda spuradhanubhavabhyam Sparad Anubhavabhyam, those who are explicitly expressing the joy which is sourced from within. So now, you see, when we see Bhagavan Shiva right in front of, in our own ashram here, this concept of Shiva as a form was not originally there in our Vedic times. So there are 4 kinds of vigrahas or rupas in tradition we have for worship, Upasana. First one is known as Swayambhu Vigraha. Swayambhavadi is Swayambhu. Bhagavan's expression is not necessarily in a particular form. Anything that is created as Ishvara Srishti is Swayambhu only. Sun, moon, water, fire, air, space, planets. All these are all Swayambhu Vigraha of the Lord. Because you cannot say something came from something else. You cannot say fire came from water. They are individually manifested. Of course, Maya Shakti is there for the Avyakta Prakriti is there. But then they all have manifested forms of the Lord only. Bhumira Punalo Vayuhu Kammano Buddhi Revacha Ahankari Me Binna Prakriti Ashtata. These are all called Apara Prakriti of Bhagavan. Right? It's Apareya Midasvanyam Vittim Prakriti Me Param. So there he very clearly said Bhumihi Apaha Analaha Vayu. All these are all created by Apara Prakriti. Which means what? I myself has become this. Matta Parataramna Anyat Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. Other than me, there is nothing else. That means what? I am the one which has become all this. So that's how he explains in chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita. So that is called Swayambhu Vigraha. Swayambhu Vigraha. Then we have Nirguna Vigraha. Nirguna Vigraha means they do not have any particular characteristic like Shivalinga or Shaligrama. There is no head, there is no bottom, there is no hand, there is no feet, there is no face. So there is no guna, no quality of any kind, no characteristic, no limbs. They are considered as Nirguna Vigraha. They are considered as those which have no particular characteristic traits. You cannot say this is the top, this is the bottom also. This is the left and this is the right also, you cannot say. They are a kind of a globe stone. So that is what is originally worshipped in the ancient times as the presence of the Vishnu, Mahavishnu, as Saligrama is Mahavishnu. And the Shivalinga. Linga means Linam Gismin Gachanti Sarvam. Iti Lingaha. Everything gets merged in that. Bhagavan Shiva is known as the one in whom everything gets dissolved. So, Shivalinga, Shaligrama are considered as the Nirguna Vigraha. Then you have Saguna Vigraha. Saguna Vigraha means Mahavishnu, Panchamukha Shiva. They are considered as the Saguna Vigraha with character traits, meaning the form is there, physical form is there, and what is known as the Garuda Ruda Bhavan Vishnu or Sheshasayana Mahavishnu or one Vishabharuda Bhagavan Shiva. They are considered as the Saguna Vigraha with a particular form and having particular features in them. Chaturbhuja Bhagavan Vishnu also. Now comes the 4th category is Avatara Vigraha. Avatara Vigraha is Dhanurdhari Rama. And then Vamshidhari Krishna. They are what? They are not, they are Vishnu avatar only, but particular avatar. See, Rama carries bow and arrow, right? But Krishna is not carrying weapons at all. Oh, you know why? Because Rama married and he has to protect himself. Krishna is always with girlfriends. No? He doesn't need to carry any weapon to protect himself. Anyway, that's a joke. So he is only with the flute, enjoying. But that is a particular avatar group only, avatar vigraha. So this way, when we say Shiva, it is Saguna vigraha. It is Bhagavan Shiva with a particular, it's not avatar vigraha. Avatar vigraha can be, Dakshinamurti is avatar vigraha. So this way, Shiva's forms also should be understood as Swayambhu Vigraha, as the very creation itself. Or it can say Nirguna Vigraha as the like Shivalinga. Then we have Saguna Vigraha as Bhagavan in meditation. Or if you take Dakshinamurti Ityadi, then it becomes Avatar. Particular reason why he took that form. So in this composition, you will find a lot of description about Bhagavan's features. So we must understand this is what Upasana. Upasana is very important for Chitta Ekagrata Siddhyartham. Mind to focus. Because our mind is like a wild deer running here, there, here, there, here. So now, first topic that Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi has said is, let us understand what is bhakti. Then we will go into how Shiva Bhakti is. Okay. So, verse number 61. We'll take verse number 61, which is in my book, page number 139. I'll go back and forth. So be ready for, moving your pages back and forth. Here, the beautiful definition of what is bhakti. Very nicely presented here. Ankolam nijabida santadiraya kantopalam suchika. Should I break it? Ankolam nijabida santadirayas kantopalam suchika sadvi naijabibam latakshitiruham sindhu saritvallabam sadvi naijabibam latakshitiruham Prapnoti hayata tata pashupatehe padarabindadvayam Cheto vrittirupetya tishtati sada sa bhaktirityuchyate Angolam nijabida santadirayas kantopalam suchika sadvi naijabibam latakshitiruham sindhu saritvallabam prapnoti hayata tata pashupatehe padarabindadvayam Cheto vrittirupetya tishtati sada sa bhaktirityuchyate. Sa bhakti ityuchyate. That is called devotion. Ka bhaktihi pashupadehe padarabindatvayam cheto vrittirupetya tishtati sada. Sada tishtati. Chetaha upetya prapya. What? Having my mind reached the very lotus feet of the Lord and stays there. Not touching and going. Many people when they go to the temple, I did my namaskar salutation. Hi, how are you? Their job is over for the day. I came to the temple, looked at him. That is not considered as bhakti. Tishtadi sada. Sada tishtadi pada aravindatvai. So there where the mind has abided into that very nature of the Lord who is representing, in my mind, I salute, I bow down to the lotus feet of the Lord. Cheto vritti rupetya tishtati sada. Padaravindatvayam tishtati. Sada sa bhaktihi pashupadehe. Of whose? Of the Pashupati, the Lord of all beings. We are all Pashuns only. Pashyadidi Pashuhu. Mananat Manushya. Mere perception with which we live, merely going by the perception, then you are only Pashu. When do we think? We hardly think. See, a thinking person will not go by what others do. But what are we? You got iPhone 13, I also get iPhone. But then we go by the herd mentality, right? We just ape each other. Only when you start thinking, you don't imitate others. We live by only imitation. So then it is how we are different from any other animal. Then. Kawa pivo maujuda. Kana pina sona. What else we do? Same thing every day. Anything different? Animals do in the forest, we do in the city. That's all different. No difference at all in their lifestyle and our lifestyle also. So where we start thinking, we become different. Then only we are Manushas. So when you say Pashupati, we include everybody. He is the Lord of all beings. Pashupatehe padaravindatvayam cheto vritti rupetya tishtati sada sa bhaktihi. That is what is called true devotion. And how this mind can stay at the feet of the Lord. And there are examples are given, beautiful examples. Each one is so unique. What are these? We have to see tomorrow only. Up to 9 o'clock, right? 9:30, 9 o'clock. You all have to go home. So tomorrow when we meet, we see the definition of bhakti according to Bhagavan Shankaracharya in this. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. We have morning class. Those who can come physically, it's good. Otherwise, Zoom link is also available from the website. So that is at 6:30, correct? Yes. 6:30 to 7:30. We'll pick up some of the important verses from different Upanishads, and then we'll see how to meditate on those verses. Dhyanam. We will do that tomorrow morning. Okay? Hari Om.